Last we left off, we had made it finally to Jotunheim. And finally, the weather has cleared up. But to get here, we had to defeat Hell herself and travel via the Bifrost. So today we must equip our leather boots and get to exploring, as we have a lot to work towards in the quests. And I think one of the most important things that we can do right as we start here is prep up to be able to make this Lens of Miner, which means we are going to need to get our hands on gold finally, diamonds, and also emeralds somehow. Oh, and not to mention black quartz. That's definitely on the list of to finds. But beyond that, there's probably several other resources that we're going to need to get our hands on. But there is one problem. I can't fly. We do not have the ability to fly outside of Helheim. So we are going to have to eventually figure this out. We're going to have to figure out how we could expand and potentially fly before long. I am noticing there is a lot of geodes down here. Also, I'm going to take care of this little slimy boy here. And we should probably start to poke and prod and kind of figure out what's in these geodes, because there might be black quartz, for example. So yes, this one is just filled with black quartz, which is perfect. And this one is filled with lead geode. I mean, I can't complain. I'll take anything I can get my hands on here. Also, by the way, I was just randomly getting like unrefined spirits for whatever reason. Keep forgetting to look up. When I do, I feel everything is a little bigger than I remember, in a good way mostly. Are you sure? Are you sure? Also, while I'm here, I should probably grab some of this kelp as I continue to poke and prod at all of these geodes that are nearby. Let's see, more black quartz. Now, thankfully, whenever I did open up some of the spell scrolls that we had, I did get Burning Dash, which is pretty nice because I can kind of jump in the air and give myself a nice big leap, which is going to be very helpful for traveling, since we just can't travel that fast. Also, a boat might be really good for, you know, skating across this. Is that a monument, by the way? If so, I don't want to get too close or we won't be able to break anything. But also, there's so many things under the water here. We don't have anything for water breathing just yet, or black quartz. Now, this looks nice. Oh my goodness. This is just blocks of Certus quartz with flawless budding Certus quartz nearby also, and skystone. Oh, perfect. Now, if this is the structure I think it is and it hasn't been modified, there should be blocks of gold residing in the center of it. However, we don't have any water breathing potions unless we could fish for them, but that would definitely take me a little while. Oh my goodness, these spiders just snuck up on me. I can't right now. Okay, that was horrifying. Ow. Let's not do that right now. Oh man, they can jump. Yes, I did not see this coming. Thankfully, we don't take fall damage. Oh man, that's that was not on my bucket list for the day. Finally, though, it looks like some trees off in the distance. And the more I see these spiders, the more I'm like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't go over near them. But this thing does look pretty cool. With our dash spell, getting inside of this shouldn't be too bad. Let's see, is there anything I should be worried about, though? That is the thing. Can we break in? Oh, we can. Oh, and we got gold. Okay, so gold is now solved. That was not difficult at all. Perfect. Because we have the power to convert one energy to another, all we needed was some nuggets. I wonder though, is there more to this structure? If we break the magma, there's just chiseled stone. I think that's it. There is something over here though. Maybe it's just a bridge. I think it's just an old bridge. Definitely just an old bridge. Yep. So now we still have to find emerald, and we also still have to find diamonds. We do have another place to explore, and I hope this is how we obtain some of these items, is just by looting some of these really cool buildings. All right, I do want to actually change my spawn point just in case. I think this is going to be a good test no matter what we do. Let's see, do we break into this one also? I think so. Is there anything in here? I was going to try and dash up there, but it's not proven to be very good. Oh, there we go. Okay, I got some tin nuggets, and we also got some gems. There's another building off in the distance here. Maybe we avoid this spooter. I think we'll be fine. Nope, nope, it definitely has seen us. It's after us. It is definitely after me right now. Oh no. Okay, I think it's gone. I think it's gone now. I really want to check out what this is. Okay, so we have to go underwater. Nice. There are some drowns, but I can be quick so long as there's not a trident. Okay, some gold and iron. And it looks like some bookshelves. Also some steel, but I'm unsure what that might be. Okay, we got some lead. That's what it is. There is an upper floor, though, and you can see all of these guys here. I'm wondering if I could pop through. I mean, they're kind of stationary. They're not really moving too much. That guy has a trident, though. Okay, I just want to be quick. Oh my goodness, we got diamonds. I think we're fine. I think we're fine. There was diamond in there. So long as we can keep regening our health, I can get there to the other one. I'm being kind of risky. Okay, we're not taking hardly any damage, which is good. Dash my way back. And I am out. Oh my goodness. There was diamond in there. So that still leaves us with one more resource that we definitely need to find, and that is emeralds. Wait, there's actually loot chests on the bridge. I wonder if I missed that one on the last bridge, because it also contains some gold. But yet again, we have ourselves another structure. This one also buried in the ice. Let's just kind of break in here and see what we have. This one is not as chaotic with spawning in mobs. We do have piles, but do we have chests hidden about? Anywhere in here? Unless I'm missing it, it doesn't appear like there's much in here. Other than the fact that this used to be a conduit, which is what it kind of looks like. By the way, these trees are just massive spruce trees. This is good. I'll take some of these for sure. Really like digging holes, don't you? That's not a criticism. Sounds like you're criticizing me right now, Vet. Definitely. I just found an Ars tree. I thought this looked familiar off in the distance. This gets us access to some archwood logs? I mean, it should give us access to archwood logs. Oh, that is great. Oh, there's even some signs of life here with some beautiful dandelions and poppies. Now, I am trying to peek my head underneath the ice here in some of these cavern sections, which there's like zinc and all kinds of other stuff down here. Oh, and is that lapis? I think that's lapis. This is definitely gonna be worth taking damage too. Yes, this is definitely lapis. I want to try and grab a little bit of this. Okay, so it looks like we can just go regular mining, and that would allow us to get several of these resources. I mean, this should mean that even technically, if we don't find emerald via a structure, right, that we should be able to find it underground and potentially inside of caves like this. Also, there's just dripstone down here. Yes, thank you. I did set my respawn point up there so that way we could get out quite easy. But yeah, I kind of want to dip down in here. And this is a gold geode. Oh, that's so cool. Down here, I've also found some aluminum and also apatite, and even silver. Some sulfur also. Oh, and I definitely would have grabbed tough. This is one of my favorite building blocks. We'll say this cave section is huge. Oh, and look what I just stumbled upon. I don't have any torches. I feel like I just made that guy fear me. But there may be some goods in here. Diamantine crystal, very nice. A blank runestone. There's a lot of things that we already have, so I'm like, what do I grab? What do I grab? I don't think I need to worry about anything here. Dark steel ingots, though, I'm definitely going to take.
Whoa! Look at those mountains. They go up forever. And the trees? The trees! I could fit inside one of those leaves. Can I please try to fit inside one of those leaves? Wait, is it supposed to be this cold? Why is everything so big? I don't like being small in this big place. Actually, I don't like being cold either. Can we go somewhere warm after this?
Yeah, maybe we'll take a summer vacation. You know what, Bet? We'll definitely take a summer vacation after this. After teleporting back out of that hole, I think we should definitely start looking for emeralds. Yes, at the one place that I really don't want to go into. That is the Guardian Temple. But man, it is a awful mess outside right now. I mean, I did get myself a fishing rod, so I could potentially try to fish up a pufferfish. It would be really nice if I can just get one. Then we can make potions of water breathing, and then none of the underwater stuff is going to pose a threat whatsoever. We just simply have to see if we can fish in these lands. Oh, we can. And I got a pufferfish. Oh, perfect. 3 casts ended up getting a pufferfish. Also, what in the world are you? I think for this, I should put my boots on. It's already taking damage. Oh, I think we'll be fine potentially taking this guy on. Oh, yeah. Let's go ahead and get this guy. I wonder if we can ice spike him since he's already drowning underwater. Yes, we can freeze him, who is frozen in place at the moment. That is hilarious. We got this guy also on us. Ow. He's just frozen. That's so good. And I think, though, is this guy gone? Oh, no. He's, like, completely statuified. All right. We need to get out of the Guardian area. So I'm going to set my spawn, and then I'm going to go brew up some water-breathing potions. And we also need to spawn in a few cows, so that way we have some milk, so we can remove this nasty effect that this dungeon gives us. Now, us finding Darksteel allowed us to technically bypass the Darksteel requirement here, which was going to just simply require us to use our smeltery and basically apply some obsidian with some black steel. And the black steel, by the way, we get from these enemies that are all out here. Because the pufferfish has EMC, we can make more pufferfish so we don't run out of these. And now we just use the basic process of using some dread shards and our jelly beans here in order for us to make some awkward potions. And also, now that I have diamonds, oh, I can make more diamonds, which means we can make a better pickaxe. And as weird as it seems, making a diamond pickaxe, I mean, we have the ability to put unbreaking on it right away. I'll just toss the runestone in here and we get ourselves unbreaking again that we can just apply to this. Such a nice tool just for general purpose ore excavation. Drop in our pufferfish here now that we have awkward potions. Then we need to be sure to give this some redstone to make it last 8 minutes long. To summon our cow, we're going to need some earth essence, a bone, some leather, and a sacred spirit. I know, I finally got it right. I've been saying it wrong the whole time, scared. I am dyslexic, so that totally makes sense after seeing that, why I was saying that wrong. But there we go. So this is going to spawn on our cow, which would allow us to get... Ah, yes, milk. Going back in here and checking my bag, I almost forgot I had a random glyph that I could have got. And I got the glyph of leap. There's no way I got super lucky with that and just got the glyph of leap. I mean, it's not super useful as of right now, but if you cast onto self with leap, I mean, it launches you into the air. And so long as you have mana like we do, I'm able to cast infinitely, and because we don't take fall damage, I mean, we can just move like crazy here. That was incredible luck. That might actually prove useful. I mean, we do have our flame dash, which kind of works like it, but it has a much longer cooldown. Let's go ahead and see. Yes, milk all of these cows so we can wipe away the nasty effect that prevents us from breaking blocks that will be applied to us from Guardians. And then I just need to make sure I have all of the water breathing ready to go. And then we just need to simply perform a snatch and grab. Okay, I don't know what just spawned, but that was not on my bucket list of things I wanted to deal with as soon as I teleported back. By the way, just gonna make that very clear. Oh my goodness. It can just stay under the ice for all I care right now. That is horrifying. This is a big one too. This is from Ice and Fire, by the way. Okay. That was not... Okay. I mean, I have serpent scales now. Not enough to make a full set of armor, but it was very close. What? And this provides water breathing when we have the full set. Okay, after that craziness, I think what I want to do is figure out the face of the actual building here. Okay, so if I go over here, I think this is the front. We need to be facing this from the front. And I happen to know the layout of the building here. So if the building is facing the front, we actually need to target the right-hand side. And we've got to get in here pretty quick and take this out. I'm still just kind of like shell-shocked by the fact that a serpent came up from ice and fire. All right, are we going to get hit with mining fatigue? That is something that I am wondering about. So far, we have not. I'm going to use this opportunity to take my potion, and we need to go roughly here. Okay, or this does it for us. That's kind of nice. And I'll drink this to get rid of that, but it also gets rid of the potion. And in here is emeralds. Yes, this is the building. And there's the guardian. But we don't have to worry about the guardian right now. All I needed was that chest. And typically you would break through this section right here, but that Geor had already done it for us. So, you know what? I'm not complaining. Another awesome cache that you can find inside of this structure, by the way, is a massive pile of gold, which happens to be, I believe, on the opposite side. So on this side is usually a chest, and on the other side is a massive area of gold. And there we go again. I get hit with another set of mining fatigue. But now as the sun sets here in Jotunheim, I think I need to head back because we've got some things to craft. Now, some things I kind of want to start doing. I'm going to take about 16 of my dark steel ingots, and I want to get them nice and smelted down. I'm going to need them for making machine casings. But now, since we're also getting into machinery, I am going to need some sort of way to generate power. And we do have the power mod in here, so getting started by just simply adding some iron with some redstone and some dialect paste, which we can get from lava, well, we can craft up a furnator. And remember, to get lava, all I have to do is convert obsidian. And there we have our first sort of generator, a regular furnator, but this only produces 20 FP per tick. We really should upgrade this to at least the basics so that way we get 80. And the cost difference between these two are very small. But we could take this basic furnator even further. As of right now, it generates 80, but we could very easily just upgrade this to the next tier, which is going to be the hardened version, and this produces 200. And all we need to do that is the energizing orb. And as the quest says, I can combine iron and gold to create new metallic alloy capable of handling more complex processes. So to go along with this, we are also going to need a rod. Just like the generator, this also upgrades with itself. And with this newfound gold that we have, oh yes, this is going to open so many things. So we can place our furnator down, place the rod on top, and then we have our energizing orb, which we can place down. And all we need to do is make sure we only have one at a time going into this. So we can split this and we can say throw one into it, or right click one into it, not throw it, right click it into it. And then this should send power to this via a beam. And it's slowly going to charge up. And eventually we get ourselves some energized steel, which is super nice. And we also get gifted a few more rewards, as in more hardened energizing rods. And we even get given some energy cables. Something you can also do, though, is feed it entire blocks of these materials. And this is also going to convert this into a full block. With this steel, this should be enough for us to upgrade our furnator. I've just got to make some hardened capacitors here, and then take my furnator that currently is powering stuff, and we are going to upgrade this immediately just by placing it in. And this produces 200, which is not too bad for some early generation that literally just uses some coal. With power, we can get back to the lens, the reason we farmed all of these resources in the first place. Without access to the rich minerals of Midgard, we'll need to rely on this frozen black quartz as one of the key ingredients for assembling some basic machinery. By attaching a lens of the miner to an atomic reconstructor, it can convert different block types into their ore field variants. So the goal here is for us to essentially craft an atomic reconstructor. So we are going to need some iron casings and to craft the actual atomic reconstructor itself. which this block in its own right has the ability to convert different materials between different states. And so this is pretty powerful, allowing us to get soul sand, many other different things that we probably didn't have access to before, but now we do. To make this do ore related tasks, we're going to need to take a lens and upgrade the lens with all of these materials that we have gathered thus far. And so with the lens of the miner now, things are going to get a little bit more interesting. First thing we do want to do though is take our atomic reconstructor and place it here. It is possibly going to fire, but if we, yes, it is going to fire. We need to actually swap this with a redstone torch to prevent it from turning our blackstone into kiwi. I mean, don't get me wrong though, kiwi is a very powerful block to have. As one would assume, once we get to Muspelheim, we'll be able to use this to craft a very specific block from Zycraft. But until then, we just need to place the lens of the miner on here. And by doing this, whenever we give this a redstone signal from something like a lever, for example, and we place something like sand in front of it, as the quest says, this gets converted into a material. In this case, it's the bituminous sand. I bet I'm butchering that. Maybe it's bituminous? Something along those lines. I think bituminous might be it. With this, we can grab the bituminous sand. And this has a special use that we're going to need to take advantage of. But this is going to require some special machinery. Powered machinery. These complex and sturdy machine frames allow me to create complex and upgradable machines. The induction smelter can forge alloys to more easily create machine frames if I want to upgrade from using the smeltery. To get the machine frames, well, we're going to have to cast some of that dark steel that we put in our foundry earlier, and we're going to have to cast that over some hardened glass. And our first bit of hardened glass is going to come from some sand, quartz, obsidian, and fire essence, in which we should be able to just simply craft. And with my dark steel and the smeltery controller, we place this inside of the basin, and we just need to cast this in order to get our casing. And it takes a little bit of time to cool down, but this can be technically automated with a hopper. And if you didn't know, the actual spouts or faucets themselves can be controlled and forced on with a lever. Now, to make these machines, we are going to need a gear cast in which we can form by making a stone compound gear. And then we need a little bit of copper inside of here, and we cast the copper on top, and this should get us our first copper cast. To make the induction smelter, we also need Invar, and to make Invar, we have to mix some metals, nickel and also iron. And this, by the way, is going to be 2 iron to 1 nickel in how this is set up. This is going to be something that we definitely want to automate. So some sort of inventory with a hopper underneath, the lever we can place above this faucet, and we can start casting this. And as soon as this finishes, it should drop down into the hopper and get placed into the barrel, which is exactly what I want. For crafting the induction smelter, well, we can just toss in sand, obsidian, and nether quartz now to easily make hardened glass. I'm also starting to work on making the fluid mixer, but this also requires constantan, and constantan is just nickel and copper mixed together 1-to-1. Fluid mixer also is going to need soul infused ingots, and to get soul infused ingots, well, we need soul sand dust, which comes from soul sand. I know, stay with me. But if we take off the lens, well, we can just toss items directly onto here, and that should convert said items, yes, instead of converting it to kiwi. And that gave me soul sand, which we can just make a few more bits of. And with our Ars Crush spell, I believe we can set this and start crushing this up. With all of my basic machines crafted up, we now have a centrifugal separator, fluid mixer, and also magma crucible, which is the route that I want to go. And I think the centrifugal separator will place here. We can also place a fluid mixer here, and then why not magma crucible right up top. And then to get power, I'll just use my cables, and I'm going to route these all to our generator. And then what we can do is set this to a pull mode, so we can have this pull power from here, which should send all of my machines. To get this party started, we'll take our centrifugal separator, we'll place the bituminous, bituminous. I'm gonna get it eventually. But this gets broken down into bitumen, tar, and also crude oil, which we are going to need for our fluid mixer. Over here, I'm going to place in some redstone, and this is going to process this down into destabilized redstone, which we can then send over to this machine. So something that I think we can do is we can set this to pull in ingredients. So auto input should be allowed. And then on the bottom, we also want auto input allowed. And then on this machine, we want to auto output to the top, which is only going to allow fluid because of the way this is set up. And then here, we want to allow auto output and set this to auto output. This is going to start combining the two, and we now have kind of automated it. We just have to put the ingredients in, and so on and so forth. And as far as our Atomic Reconstructor is concerned, well, we should be able to pop this, go to the next one, and continue down the chain for right now. Some tips, by the way, for making your thermal machines just a teensy bit faster, you can put hardened integral components in them, and this will speed up the process at which they produce. For example, the centrifugal separator is pretty slow, but just by placing this in here, it is going to use a bit more power, but it is going to go a bit faster. But we now should have flux infused oil. Yes, one of the things that we need in order to work our way to orichalcum. Now I'm trying to think of a way to make this bituminous sand a little bit easier before we have a lot more ingredients for automation. And so I'm thinking we stack this up. I can use a piston to push this. And since it is falling sand, we just have to time some redstone. So we can trigger some redstone by using an observer facing into a note block to detect when we right click this, which will send a redstone pulse. And then maybe we can delay this a little bit. So let's create maximum delay here going into our reconstructor. And then I'll just redirect some redstone back into the piston and then send this into the repeater. And so the goal is that it's going to push the sand when I click this and then convert it. And then over here, what I want to do is I will just place a torch, which should, any torch, it can be a redstone torch. This should just fall right onto it. We're gonna have to make it go at least one further. So we are gonna have to drop down, place a torch down here. And then that should break it. And then with our magnet on, yes, we can collect it. So now all I have to do is just make a massive pillar here of sand, and I can just keep right clicking this over and over again. And you can see I have sort of semi-automated it. And while this may not be fully automated, it'll get me going for now. I will say though, it looks like I have some work cut out for me. As moving forward, we are going to need quite a bit, honestly, of this infused oil, as this has to be broken down into its base components, leading us into that orichalcum, and several other machines and bosses that we're going to have to take on very, very soon. But today was quite productive. Not only did we find lapis, several other resources like diamonds and emeralds and things that we can actually make more of now, and even gold. Oh boy, has things really opened up for us. And I mean, we even defeated a random serpent. So now at this point, you haven't already clicked that subscribe button, well, you should definitely do so. And like I said, if not for me, then do it for the little helper up here. And also give this video a huge thumbs up, and don't forget to comment down below. What was your solution for farming this bit stuff? Now, of course, without further ado, it's time for me to thank the amazing supporter of today's episode. And that huge thanks is going out to Werewolf Hayden. Thank you so much for your amazing support and choosing to support me over on the Discord by becoming a Discord premium member and supporting my content in one of the best ways possible. And guys, I look forward to seeing you all in the next one. And as always, thanks for watching.